Congratulations. Yeah. So we always like to ask, as we're sort of concluding this, just to have a moment in a circle for us to kind of reflect with each other on how this experience has been for you. So we'll join you and just go around to share one thing. You can pass if you wish to, of course, always the right to pass. But one thing that you appreciated or you want to know about this experience. And we will do microphones for this.
I would like to thank the Voter Initiative Review for doing this and me having the opportunity to be on the panel. And I kind of like it now, you know. There was there were times when I felt that it was maybe biased one way or the other, but I think with us getting through this, the citizens might feel that this is fair. And I think the panel makes up good that we got different people from everywhere. Laura's a teacher, and then Michael C. Works law, and Jenny is, and everybody in the whole panel. It all works. I don't want to name everybody, but you're all good guys, and I had fun. Thank you.
Right. This is my first experience to be CI. I think I at the beginning, I don't think I get the whole process, how it looks like. But starting like yesterday in the morning, we started to generate the claims. And then I found at the end of the day, I said, oh, we should put more claims in the morning instead of like, oh, in the evening. Oh, I still want to put some claims there, but probably you don't have enough time. But I think it's the process is pretty neutral. I think there's working staff. It's very supportive. So I think it's a very good experiences. And I think it's also helped the healthy democracy.
Yeah, it seems like as there was always this, or you can do that over and do that over and do that over, just like never ending. You kept mentioning, you know, well, it keeps going up, up, up. And then finally you get to this day and it ends. It's finite and it just comes so quickly. So it kind of shocks people, I think, that you can reach this kind of a document over the course of the last few hours.
I had a great time. I like getting to know all of you. I didn't get to know everybody equally well, but this process opened my eyes up, helped me to find out that, yeah, there's a lot of varying opinions, but I don't have to agree with them all. I don't have to disagree with them. And maybe a lot of you had the experience of finding out I could feel like the other side as well. And it's like, what facts do we have, which we revealed, and we're portraying them now, and we're supporting them, one side and the other. And we have to be, it's not like we have to be neutral, but we could state it neutrally as needed. And I think it's very healthy. And as Oregon found out, I hope California is going to be growing into this too.
To agree with Stanley, I love that we got to see so many different perspectives. And I had the same experience where I feel like I came in thinking I was, like I knew exactly what I was thinking, but hearing from the other side, I could see both sides fairly equally. And I really enjoyed that. It was eye-opening for myself. And also, I found that it made me hungry for more. And I'm kind of sad that it's over because I want to like go back and do more and talk more about it. But now I just know that I can take it back home. And like I was telling some of my fellow panelists that like the families that I work with will definitely be hearing from me about all this stuff and getting them out there to vote because it's very important.
Hi. I think that this whole thing has been an enormous opportunity that I'm so happy that I did not throw it in the trash. Because I almost did without even opening it. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm happy to be here, and this was truly eye-opening. It is a great experience, and I strongly support it.
I don't know who organizes this or the kind of energy that goes into it. It's probably overwhelming, but it's really cool to be a part of it, and to see that this is the phase. But I'm with getting out of the opposing side is really eye-opening, and it isn't that you hear it from anybody that's up there talking. It's literally wearing the hat and knowing that you have to support the statement. That isn't necessarily something that you feel already that opens your eyes.
I'd like to say I'm kind of surprised that we got where we are. When I first got here and looked at the schedule, I was thinking, on the road are we going to get to that from there in that short amount of time? So I think the process has been well refined and works well.
I agree with Chuck. I was going to say that as well. Healthy Democracy, you guys did a fabulous job. You had a well-oiled process. It was very seamless, easy to go through. You rolled with the punches when there were a little bit of differentiation between California and Oregon. It was very enlightening. It was exciting to me. From day one, I was very excited about being a part of this democracy that we have, and being able to learn and become educated on some facts that I didn't already know about, and to then be able to disseminate the information to other people, because I appreciate it when people provide information to me so that I don't have to go through and learn all of the information. So I know what a big help it will be to the rest of the citizens of California. So thank you.
Well, adding to everybody that has just spoken before me, it's just great. It just feels, for me, it feels great kind of participating again in our democracy. I've never heard of healthy democracy before this, but I think we made a good decision on filling out that form or going online, out that form online as well. I just wish that this was the way the politicians work for us, but it feels great to be involved and know that
been really excited to have such a broad-based group of people brought together and be able to make decisions from so many perspectives. I actually was on a rent control measure at one time, statewide here, and which was interesting. But now to see this all brought together, I think it's a great idea for our ballot measures to have something like this. Otherwise, you're just looking at pros and cons as developed by different industries that have a stake in the game. So this is really an interesting idea, guys, and thanks for bringing it to California, and good luck and having us go on the ballot as you're doing in Oregon. Good job.
Yeah, I, like everybody, really enjoyed it. And working in an organization, I know some of what goes into trying to put together a process like this, and I know that one of the key elements is to trust the process. And so everybody seemed to do that without really having to be told, which I thought was pretty cool. And I expected it to be a little more linear. I expected that stuff was going to be rough, and then it was going to get better and better and better and better until it was really good. But it seemed a little more jagged. Even on our last day, we were making some pretty big changes, some pretty big things. But indisputably, it came out great. I mean, in my opinion, it came out great. So I really enjoyed watching it from that perspective. And like Michelle was saying, there's only most people, I would guess, only have a handful of opportunities to support something that's not exactly what they're supporting. And you have to look at it, you have to look at it and almost advocate for a position that's not yours. On occasion, I've had to do that if I was, on a committee, the committee made a decision, that wasn't my decision. And so I would have to then represent that decision. And people are looking at me like, but I thought, and so it can be very uncomfortable and it's very eye-opening. And getting to do that here in under much friendlier circumstances was helpful too. And I really liked meeting all the people I met. I really, really, really enjoyed that. I even got to play like I was 20 something again for a night, and it was roaming around Sacramento, so I totally dig that. And I hope that get to use our paddles one last time. State of Calif.
I too had a really great experience. I'd like to thank the organizers, because I could see that you'd worked really, really hard. Even just like somebody needs a pen, okay, somebody's gonna find a pen for you, and you really helped us, make it easy for us. And I also like to thank all my panelists. I had a good time, and it was nice knowing all of you. And I'm surprised that, considering the diversity of California, that we're not at the forefront of this. I mean, we're just doing it now when it's done in other states or other states. And I wish I hope someday I could be on it again. I actually came close to not coming. I responded a day late. I didn't know if you were going to still take me, but I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad I got to experience this. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody here. It was an exciting experience, a totally different mental exercise than I think we're generally used to from day to day. And we were able to get through this very rigorous process with patience and courtesy. I don't feel like I was ever spoken to in a way that made me feel diminished in any kind of way. I feel like the work that we did is really important and that we can be very proud of what we did here. And it would be nice to see it moving to a broader experience statewide for other people to experience as well.
So to think that 5 days ago, I thought this was a scam. I think we've all shared that small opinion. To be able to say that we all trusted that voice over the phone and that one letter to get us over here. So the 2 points I'm gonna walk away from these past 4 days is one, education is power. If you check your facts, if you do your research, if you take the time, not taking it thrown at you, you educate yourself to better be prepared for the next facts that might be thrown at you. And the second thing I walked away from, what was the first thing I said? Education is power. I'm blanking out.
Memory is power too.
What was that?
Memory is power too.
Memory is power too. Oh man, I already forgot. I'll bring it up later. But thank you to everyone who did speak to me and who allowed me to have lunch with you or hang out with you after this. And thank you to everyone.
I feel like I've said enough already, but thank you to the tech people, to the moderators, to everybody in Healthy Democracy in Davenport for putting this together and, like other people have said, to bring it to California. My intent with passing that around is I really do hope that we can make that a regular thing in California, that people, when they get their letter in the mail, will feel like it is their golden ticket, that their voice is going to be heard. And I just think it's a great idea. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. I enjoyed all the panelists here. Had fun talking to everybody. And I learned so much, and to see how well organized everything was, how the process all went together, and we came up with all this. It's surprising. Everything was so surprising. Thank you very much.
I'm speechless. Actually, I've been listening to all the input, and I agree with almost everything's been said. And I too hope that this continues on and we can see more of the CIR group here in California, because I think it's very important. It's very confusing to read the pros and the cons that they have in the voter ballot. And they're very much, I think, biased, if you will, a lot more so than I think our pros and cons are going to be when you read them. So again, thank you for your keeping us on the straight and narrow, and your help, because without it, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
I'm going to start with, I thought we were getting human trafficked, picked up at the airport, you know, all that, $500, you know. But this has truly been one of the most wonderful things. On a regular basis, I struggle with having to explain policy to people, and I see myself benefiting from being able to analyze a piece of legislation better now, and the facts that support it. But also being able to tell people, this is how you can find out more. This is how you can take those ideas that you have and support them, back them up. And I remember seeing everybody start on the first couple days. Everyone had so many different ideas. Everyone was kind of all over the place. And as we started moving toward yesterday and today, ideas that people provided started getting pushed through, and ideas came together to create new ideas, to stronger statements. And I think that was one of the most incredible things I got to see, that something I added became part of something that someone else did. And it helped made the argument stronger, but it was not something that I could have done alone. So thank you very much.
Last but not least, this really was a very rewarding 4 days, and I'd like to thank everyone who was involved in making it happen. You know, I truly feel it was an honor to be a part of this hands-on process. I'd never done this before, and I am just so proud of how everyone here just came together to produce such a high-quality document. I am prejudiced, a quality document, but a document that can be shared with the entire state of California. So thank you again for that opportunity.
So my final point was that as a group, we are stronger. A day before we all met up, we were individuals, but being brought together and having to face such a dilemma, so it's that now we're a community. So we could take that power back to our community and create future communities. This is a stepping stone for all 20 of us.
Well, my goodness, that is always the best thing that happens in any week of the CIR by 100 miles. And to know that we came from scammers and human traffickers to where we are today, I appreciate that that we've changed in your mind. Before I say something, I just want to, there's one thing I need to pass around, which is this little panelist consent form. And it's missing a piece at the top, which is please print your name as well as sign it if you choose to. There are 2 boxes on here. And the first is, I agree to have my full name, mailing address, email address, and phone number released to the CIR researchers for the purpose of follow surveys. Check that box. And the second box is, I agree to have my full name, email address, and phone number shared with my fellow panelists. And if you agree to that, then we will share out a list of folks' email and phone to the panel, and then please sign the bottom. And as I said, please print your name so we know who you are. It's missing that, so if you could take one and pass those around, that'd be great. Oh, yeah. And sorry, I didn't get to write my name on this one here? Okay, sure. I was going to say one other thing. Oh, which is that, you know, every time I watch a CIR, I am absolutely amazed by the level of dedication to what is a very difficult task, especially the last 2 days where you are editing in groups of people, sometimes large groups of people, where it gets very complicated very quickly. And your patience and compassion to each other and dedication to the work at hand is really inspiring. And this panel in particular, I think you did an incredible job. Thank you. There's some down here, I think. And thank you so much for your support.
Damon?
Do you want to, folks back here? Damon, do you want to start?
Yeah, whoever wants to say something.
That was the one that
Oh, no.
I have a lot of appreciation for everyone in this room. Thank you for committing to public service in 4 days and learning as much as you wanted to learn. I learned a lot in this process, and I appreciate you all. I was thinking a lot about how potentially this model could be applicable to legislatures around the world. So something to think about.
So like pretty much all the other staff here and like all of you have said, I'm really impressed with your dedication to this process. So not just the content of what you're dealing with over the past 4 days, but this process over the past 4 days. And as much as you've learned about the proposition, you've also learned so many skills that we've been able to watch in the large group, in the little, small, facilitated groups. And hearing that all of you have these plans to essentially do another deliberative, collaborative process on this letter is, it's inspiring. It's amazing. I don't know, it makes me shake and jitter with joy that you're taking this back and you're growing with it and you're going to teach it to others as well. And it's just going to magnify what you've done.
Well, my cheeks hurt because I've been smiling so much, especially today. And I just ditto everything. And I just, again, I would say I really appreciated that, you know, you took the task seriously and you did the job and all of that. And you really brought a lot of warmth and levity to this process and allowed us to kind of bring in our goofy along the way. I just really appreciated that we were able to strike that balance together. And I love doing this process, and I really, really appreciate getting to know all of you and working with you. So thank you.
First, to my colleagues, that these three had worked together recently, and then I came in, and just the fact that I just feel really supported, and I feel like it's wonderful to work with such an amazing team. So I wanted to start there. Thank you for acknowledging us as well. I keep thinking of this song, but I'm going to mess it up, and I'm not singing. I'm going to take away from it, but oh, I'm feeling so weary. Old girls, they are so weary. And I think just so many things have been happening that make me lose faith in democracy. And so to come here and to see how this worked for 4 days, and one part is the process, but the other part is just looking at every single one of you who 4 days I knew nothing about, and to see that you did it and you did it together. And that the first day you told us what you put on hold, and now you're going to go back to those things, but I think you're also taking a gift with you. So thank you for allowing me to be part of that. Thank you.
Okay.
We go to Ashley.
All right. So as the Californian in the room of the team that's put this together, I'm really excited about the idea of the letter because California needs this. You heard me give my intro on the initiative process. We need help. Also really want to encourage you. I had an experience today. I work at with governments at the local level mostly, and then I got to come up and do something that's statewide. But you've had an experience of citizen voices being able to really dive in and deal with complex things. And I want to encourage you to take that home, not just in terms of being able to explain to people this particular initiative, but also to take back to your local communities and think of ways that you can plug in there. So in case you're not tired enough, I'm giving you like another to do. But I really want to echo everyone's thanks for your response, for you coming out despite your skepticism. And I know that it was quick. We didn't give you a lot of notice, and you all kind of scrambled to be here, and I'm so grateful for that. This process was funded by private foundation money, and I'm really grateful to the Hancock Foundation for the fact that they helped us do this. And again, the letter that you write, this could happen more frequently if we had investment from government to do it. It's expensive in terms of private money. It's definitely cheaper than a lot of campaign. Thank you guys for coming and for being part of this. And let's try to make it keep happening in California. So letters to the editor of local papers, I'll just keep giving you to-dos, but I'm very, very excited. You guys have done great work. Oh, and when you go to break, don't forget to sign up for an airport ride.
Speaking of money and foundations, I have some money for y'all. Honestly, if you calculate the hourly wage, you didn't even come to minimum. So I consider this a work of the heart as much as it clearly was work of the head. I have been through a few of these, and I have to say I have rarely witnessed such an inspiring group of people. I'm kind of cynical because I'm getting older and I'm seeing way too much. And I thank you all for sort of recalibrating that meter to the hopeful side as opposed to the despair side. So I appreciate that. And for that, I think I have arranged these envelopes in order, so you should be able to just take it off the top. And if you would sign on the far right hand of this piece of paper just to acknowledge you received it. I'm going to have you go ahead and just pass it down because I trust you all, because now that we know we're not human trafficking, and the $500 will, well, this is true. So I'll start with Michael. Just take your check off the top, sign for it, and pass it on down. Last but not least, I understand that there may be some interest in taking home a memento in the form of your nice paddles. And honestly, these are it. We don't have a bunch of these laying around. We have a few extras, but we don't have a lot of them left. So they are kind of hot. Well, so here's the thing. I'm about to tell you, Victor. You sit down and share your experience as well as your citizen statement with 5 of your friends or neighbors or coworkers. I'll give you one of the paddles. You choose which one. 10 gets you the whole set of Ginzu knives. So let your conscience be your guide. You leave here with 0, 1, or 2 paddles, and you know what your task is, right? All right, thank you. Well done, and I'll pass it on to Stephanie now.
So I just want to say thank you too, because we've been getting full participation in the evaluations each day. So I really, really appreciate that. I do have a little bit news. It's long, so it may take you a little bit of time. It's the regular evaluation plus an evaluation of the entire process. If anyone wants to get in touch with me after all of this, I can give you my card. So just approach me and I'll just give you my card and you can follow up in terms of the research. Other than that, great job. And if I have extra paper, if you want to write more than what you can write on the evaluation. Thanks.
Sorry, yes, I'll collect those. And actually, I'm going to take the advantage of having a microphone in my hand to say that please stick around after you finish your evaluation because there are 2 more pieces. One is that one. there will be a group picture. And 2 is we will do a very brief press conference for the purpose of the live stream to record it on the internets for posterity. So we'll explain more about that, but please, if you finished, hang out and or please be quiet so other people can finish, and then we'll get right to that as soon as we can. All right.
And there are still a few little snacks back there if you really need sustenance to get you through the rest of the day.
Do I have all these little slips for people who wanted to return them? Okay, I'll just collect those right now. All the slips now?
there a typo? Don't blame me. I did not put it together. Yes. Okay. Well, we would love to fix the typo, so you circle that. Also, Tim was pointing out that there's one question that's slightly strange. It says, how much confidence do you think expert, sorry, page 5. How much confidence do you think expert panelists had in your panel's ability to produce a strong and reliable citizen statement? You guys didn't really expert panel much. Why don't we just make that like CIR staff or the process? How about that in terms of your answer? So I apologize for that. CIR staff. Let's just say CIR staff.
I'm going to be the poster kid.